Today we've got the Maiden flight on the Freewing Avanti V2 80mm. First look, did the unboxing build last night. Just to give you a brief rundown, they've upgraded a lot of stuff. They put the new gear doors on them, so when they go up, it's real flush. It's got the new 2150 kV motor. Pulled it out to look at the connections. They've actually heat shrink both connectors together, so you don't have to worry about that coming loose without checking it. Also, I noticed the ESC didn't have the wood plank on it. It's actually got a plastic fitting on there. So, and those are just attention to detail, items that I noticed putting it together. Another thing was very simple 10 screws to put it together. And the fit and finish on this plane is just second to none. I mean, it's gloss. Everything's painted. The previous Avanti, it had bare foam on it. This has got paint all over it, plus the decals on top of it. So let's take a look at the equipment we've got for today's maiden flight. We've got a Spectrum 8360T that's got an AS3X setup. I've got off, low, and high. On the maiden flight, we'll probably just leave it off. We might turn it on depending on how it feels up in the sky today. We've got an SMC 6S 5300 LiHV pack, and then we've got it at the back of the battery tray where the foam starts. I've flown Avantis before. This one should be set up pretty similar. However, they did add reverse thrust on this one, and they lowered the front nose gear a little bit compared to the other one, so it sits down a little bit lower. So taking out, I'd be interested to see on the first, lift out on how much that changes the angle of attack as far as lifting out, if it needs as much stick pressure or if it's about the same. It is noticeable when you got them side by side, but if you don't have them side by side, it's a little harder to tell. But we've done enough talking and describing this plane, so let's get it up in the air.
Boy, that new power system really got the move on it. Alright. Going a little bit to the left. I'm gonna bring it in and keep it in close to it so we can see it. The new paint job looks sweet. Go out towards the field. A little bit up. That was about 60% throttle. Just climbed out right there with no problem. Battery might be a little bit far forward. It's been a while since I've flown an Avanti, and I didn't have these batteries last time. But really smooth flyer. No AS3X. Don't really need it right now because it's pretty low wind. Also, it's not really needed on this bird. I mean, Avantis are really nice flyers without them. So I'm gonna bring it in for a heat check, go across the field just to get a feel for this new power system, see what we're working with. So when you get in this thing, man, that power is awesome. What I like about it is it's really smooth sounding too. We'll do a pass across the runway here. We will have to move that battery back for future flights. Make sure we go high rate on the elevator, even though it's not a very heavy 5,000, 5,300. It's still, I can feel it getting slow. The elevator feels kind of heavy. So we're gonna bring it around here again. Go ahead and put the gear down. Make sure gear comes down okay. And then when we turn around and put the flaps in, see if we need any adjustments. And we'll bring it on in. So we're gonna turn around here.
Landing
Put the flaps in, see what we got. Picking up just a little bit. Give it a couple of clicks. Bring it on in. Landing.
Reverse thrust.
Reverse thrust looks like it works really well on this plane. It doesn't have any cheater vents on the bottom, so all that reverse thrust is directed through the intakes, so it should amplify how well it works. Avanti, good flying bird, simple maiden, a few clicks of trim with the flaps. We'll take it back to the bench and see what kind of results we got on the battery.
So very easy, successful maiden flight on the Avanti V2. Flew just like the normal Avanti, lifting out. Didn't really notice a difference in the shortened nose wheel. We were on a 3-minute 45-second timer. We came down with 15 seconds left, so we were on the throttle for 3.5 minutes. I think we were about a 4-minute flight time. Let's take a look at our battery results based upon our timer. While we were in the air, didn't use AS3X. It's really smooth out here today, but as I mentioned, Avantis are such good flying airplanes. It's not really needed for general flying. Wow. So being up there 3.5 minutes on the throttle, over 25%, we're at 78% battery life, 4.01, so basically 4.0. We were in the throttle a fair amount. I figured we would have used more than that. So, I mean, to give you my first thoughts on flying this new power system, really clean when you come through. When you get on the throttle, you really hear the, sound of the 12 blades really working, and it's very efficient. That was something I didn't know about being a higher KV on how much more it's going to draw, but that is really impressive. To have that much battery life left after 3.5 minutes of, mixing around flying and, just getting it tuned in with the flaps and stuff. So, definitely a lot of improvements on this plane. I mean, the original one was really good. This one, they've taken it and just made it better. We'll get a few more flights on it. We'll have a full flight review with top speed results and, settings, everything about setting up this airplane. So I appreciate y'all watching today. If you enjoyed this maiden flight, go ahead and like the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and follow along with us, and we'll see you on the next one.